Hello everybody, how is it going? My name is Lucas, and today on Amps of the XFX3, we are going to be checking out one of the most iconic Mesa amps, the Mesa Mark IV. And guys, if it's your first time here, or if you've been here before, make sure you are subscribed. Do lots of cool stuff here. Do XFX tutorials, mixing tutorials, gear reviews, and I do giveaways from time to time. And I don't want you to miss any of that cool stuff, so make sure you are subscribed. So, without any further ado, let's jump right in and check out the Mesa Mark IV. So the Mesa Mark IV is kind of a complicated amp in real life, and it's kind of sort of tricky in the XFX3. So, as we're looking over here in the XFX wiki, the Rhythm 1 channel, it used to be called USA Clean. Actually, when I made this patch, it was called USA Clean, but the rhythm of it got changed. So you have USA Rhythm 1 and you have USA Rhythm 2. The Rhythm channel has the fat pulled on it, and Rhythm 1 just has the bright pulled on it, so you're going to notice a difference in that whenever I play it for you. And then you have lead, lead bright, you have mid gain, and you have mid gain bright, just to keep things simple. Both of the lead channels have the harmonics pulled, as you can see right here. Just some few little notes from Cliff. So the Mark V is basically the best hits of the Mark IV and the C2 Plus. We already have those models in here. So if you're worried about the Mark IV is like the Mark V is like the Mark IV, just remixed a little bit, and you can get very close to it with some EQ settings. So if you actually, how come you don't have the Mark V 25 watt? You kind of already have that sound in here. Honestly, you probably have a better sound in here you can probably get from it. Anyway, enough of me talking. Let's get to some playing. The very first two things that I'm going to show you is I'm going to show you the rhythm channel. So I'm going to show you USA Clean, which is now Rhythm Channel 1, and I'll show you Rhythm Channel 2. I'm using my Anderson Cobra. I have an Anderson HC1 on the neck and HC3 in the bridge, and I'll let you know whenever I'm switching pickup positions. So for the clean, we're going to be starting in my middle position, and that's going to be in parallel. So let's go and see what this sounds like. As you can hear, Rhythm 2 has a lot more mids to it. Let me just show you a little EQ. I just cut a little bit of the mids out of there because it sounded a little bit dirty. I don't think I cut anything on here. Oh yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. Yeah, I am select. So I just cut a little bit of the mids. Yeah, and it did select it. Yeah, okay, that's what you're seeing. Yes, that is what I cut for Rhythm 2. Just want to make sure you're seeing the right things, because sometimes it doesn't switch whenever you're moving from the different amp blocks. Anyway, that's the clean tone. I don't think you guys are here for that, to tell you the truth. This is the Rhythm 2 settings, and this is what I cut from it. Alright, so let's move on to some lead tones. So for the distortion, I'm using the Precision Drive from Horizon Devices. IR, I'm using Get Good Drums' Cali Pack. It has some of the best V30s ever made. The V30s from Mesa themselves in some Mesa cabs. I love this. There's third-party IR sound available in the XFX, but I love it. It sounds really great. So let's get a tour. This is the EQ we're using. Typical V for a Mark. Going to be in parallel on the bridge, and then I'm going to bounce to... we're going to be in series on the bridge, and then we're going to bounce to parallel. You're going to see parallel is going to be a little bit thinner. So let's rock out. As you can hear, when I move different pickup positions, so when I am in parallel, it's a little bit thinner, cuts a little bit of the bass. But whenever you're in the lead position, the lead channel right here, I think this sounds really great. It sounds really good. Let me kick the drive on and off so you can kind of hear the effect that the drive is having. With marks, I think you absolutely need a drive because it cleans up a lot of that mud. These things are so full of mids. It has way too much mids. I like it with a drive. I think it sounds pretty tight. So let's move on to the next channel we have. That is going to be the lead bright. So this is the lead channel, but you have the bright knob pulled on the amp. I'll do the same exact thing. Bounce between pickups and kick the drive on and off. As you can hear, when you push the gain, this thing, like, you get so much bass, so much mids, it's just kind of like right in your face. And I like the way I like using the amp is I have the overdrive up and I just mess with the gain. So that was lead bright. Let me just do a quick comparison back and forth between lead and lead bright so you can see how they are. They're very different channels. As you can see, I kind of tried to match the presence, and the gain is both very close. I find the lead is just kind of like in your face, has tons of balls, and I find that the lead channel is a little bit more cleaner. Now that we have looked at lead bright, let's move over to the mid gain offerings, which I probably should did that before. So basically what I mean, it's on the lead channel, but there's like a little knob that you can like adjust, and it gets like mid gain. So it also changes the structure, and this is going to sound vastly different than the other two channels. As you can hear, the mid-gain channel, mid-gain like knob, it's lead mid-gain. I'm sorry, it's very confusing. I'm sorry. On the lead channel, when you're using the mid-gain like little knob selection, it has very, very creamy mids. I really like what it does to the mids. It gives the creamy mids, I'm not 100% sure of what frequencies it's bumping, but those creamy mids that it's bumping, it sounds really good. And I honestly would prefer this channel without a drive to give you the god honest truth, but I find you need one because you need to clean up all that like mid crap that's in there. And as you notice on all of these, I have the bass like low. And let me see what I did for the EQ in here. Pretty much all the EQs are going to be the typical Mark V, scooping out a little bit of the mids. And you've got to keep the bass like low in here because it can get out of hand very quickly. Do not be afraid to drop your bass to 0 and then come up a little bit from there, because it's pretty much what I do. I put a lot of the treble, I put some treble in, I put some those mids in, and then I come very, very slowly with the bass. I do like the lead. I do like the mid gain. So let's see what mid gain sounds like. Is it going to be mid gain bright? We're switching over to a different amp down here. Wait. Wow, it's actually good. So guys, I made a boo-boo while I was doing this video, and for this channel right here, I had to add rhythm 2, and I accidentally overrode what I had for lead mid gain, right? So I literally just built a patch really quick, alright? Now let me show you what I did. I literally just did the V really fast. I dropped the bass down, I kicked the mid, and I kicked overdrive up, I lowered the gain, and I literally kicked these up right here. That's literally all I touched. And this is the sound that comes out. I think this is my favorite channel on the Mark IV. I've never really messed with this channel, but this was literally the fastest I've ever dialed anything in. I'm not even joking, and it sounds great. Like, this is my like very natural reaction to this because I did it very fast, and we're still precision draw. Everything is still the same. This channel is very, very different from the regular mid channel. I'll just go back and forth. this channel, the gain, it's weird. Like, it's a lot more, I guess my style, it's like a lot more chewy, I guess you want to say, compared to normal mid gain. God dang it, I hate that. It doesn't follow it. It's a lot less drier. It still has that creamy mid boost in there that I really like, but I think this is my favorite channel. Seriously, like, it says mid gain on it, but it's really not. Like, I find it has structurally, let's go back to lead right here. I just want to check it out. You see, like, they're very close. Structurally wise, they're very close. They're not off. Let me just bounce between them. Let's just do lead bright, because that's technically what it should be. We're going to bounce between lead bright, and then we're going to bounce between mid gain bright. And it's not as harsh. You still have those creamy mids in there. I really like this channel, guys. Sorry we went off on a little bit of a tangent there, and I'm sorry this video went long. We kind of had a lot to go over. That is going to wrap it up for the Mark IV. I am sorry if I was confusing in here. There's a lot to go over. My best advice to you when you're dialing this thing in, start with the V and the output EQ. Find yourself a definitely good IR that you like and that you're comfortable with, and trust yourself. Drop the bass down, go from there, use low, and kind of use low gain and do incremental steps with this thing, because this amp, it is a bitch. And even Cliff says it in the Axe Wiki on the notes that's been pulled from what he said from the forum. He said that this thing it's hard to dial in. It's very hard to dial in. It's very, very tricky. It does a lot of weird stuff. Sorry if I confused you. If anyone wants this patch, let me know. I'll throw it up on Axe Exchange, and you can check it out. You can play with it yourself, do whatever you want, make it your own. Like I said, patience is the key with the Mark IV. That is what it is. You can get some very good tones out of it. I did it for many years on my XFX 2. And like I said, this mid-game bright tone, I squeaked that out just now. It took me like 30 seconds, and I dialed it in based off of everything I did on the other ones. Put the V, drop the bass, out, the overdrive is up, I had my drive on, the precision drive on there, and I just tweaked. Like, I just went fast, and it popped out great. This is my favorite channel on there. Alright, guys, thank you so much for spending some time with me. I greatly appreciate it. You have a lot of videos you could have watched. You chose to spend with me. I greatly appreciate it. You thought this video was cool, leave me a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. And on the next episode of Amps of the Axe FX 3, we're going into 2C+ land, which is some people's favorite amps ever in real life. And in the Axe FX, we're going to be going over the 2C+, and I think I'm going to do the 2C++ on its own video, because it's kind of special. It's metallic amps, basically what it's called. That's what a lot of people call it. I'm going to do a whole video separately. So we have lots of good Mesa content coming your way. Make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss that Mesa content. And like I said, thank you so much for spending some time with me. I greatly appreciate it. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.